Geez, you're a real fan.
Yeah, exactly. Signs of thanks, Sidney Crosby. Well, Kyle Wellwood certainly has been a big addition for the Maple Leafs since he has come back to the lineup, and maybe one of those players you didn't know what you missed until you didn't have it.
Well, that's for darn sure. And I mean, he's a guy that, as we talked about earlier, I mean, he just creates so many things. And you know what? He's got terrific speed. He handles the puck so well. And it's so funny to see. He uses one of the shortest sticks in the league. And you look at a guy like Martin St. Louis, who's just about the same size as Kyle Wellwood, and he's probably got the longest stick in the league next to Chara.
That's right, using the big reach there. Well, Wellwood came back, of course, March 10th against Ottawa, and 4 power play goals this year, 17 power play points, and that 23 assists as well this year has been a big reason that he is a big player in the Leafs lineup.
Well, he is, and he really, I think this was the year that he really wanted to kind of make his mark in his second full season in the National Hockey League, and that injury certainly derailed that a little bit, but I think here's an opportunity now down this stretch period where it's very important, and if they make the playoffs, he'll be a big part of the reason why they make it, and then he could be a guy that really steps up because he's going to be well rested when it comes to playoff time because he's had all that time off, and that he could be a guy that really helps propel this team to good things.
Well, let's have a little bit of an inside look as to what Kyle Wellwood does during his off time.
When Toronto's Kyle Wellwood isn't on the ice, he can usually be found pursuing his other passion, reading.
Playing in St. John's, we had such long road trips where we'd be on the bus, 8 hours a day, every other day for, 30-day road trips. So it was something to pass the time, and once you start to get into it and you find out how fun it is to read, it's hard to stop.
Nice, smart play by Wellwood.
The majority of people, if they started reading, they grow to love it, and I like to change genres pretty often. I always like science fiction and biographies too. I would have a couple $100. It's getting bigger since now the paychecks are bigger.
The guy reads the play so well.
My favorite book's The Lone Samurai, the story of the lone samurai soldier in Japan, and he had a passion for what he did and just how courageous he was and how he fought is really inspiring.
Kyle's quest to make the NHL shows his determination, especially after a 2001 draft day disappointment.
I was surprised to be drafted so late at the time. I got picked in the 5th round. I was a pretty good scorer in junior, and in my own head, I thought I was good enough to be picked a lot earlier. But at the time, it was mostly about the big, strong players, and I was more of a small playmaker. So I think the things have changed a little bit, and fortunate for guys like me, we're getting more of a chance.
Kyle has made the most of that chance, and this season he continues to grow, even notching an NHL first for him.
The first one was one I don't score too often.
Another shot by Wellwood.
It wasn't a hard shot, but found the back of the net.
Back in front. The second. Wow.
The second one was a 5-on-3 goal, and the third one was probably the luckiest one.
Out front himself.
It was great.
And that's the hat trick for Kyle Wellwood, first in his career.
It was quite an experience.